Hi Aquarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your April 2025 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what may have from us, it's a Celtic cross-spread as always. And also pulled the 4 agreements and wisdom of the oracle card for you guys. But we're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, we have 10. So 10th house for you guys is Scorpio. Not really anything going on there, astrologically speaking, through April, but there will be a full moon in there in May. But generally speaking, 10th house points to career and social status. All right, we have the sun. So at the time recording this, we're just wrapping up Pisces season, which for you guys, that would be your second house of possession, self-worth, finances. And then, of course, from there, we'll have the sun Aries, which is your third house of communication, short journeys, and siblings. And then around the 19th, 20th of the month, it's going to move into Taurus, which is your fourth house of home, roots, family. All right, and speaking of Pisces, we also have Pisces here too. So yeah, could definitely be some focus on finances for you guys quite a bit this month, given that we see Pisces energy, which is your second house of finances, self-worth, and then we also have the 10th house energy too. So we'll keep that in mind as we go through the main spread. Well, yeah, plenty of pentacle energy too. In the main situation position, we have the 8 of Pentacles, Virgo energy, and challenging that, we have the Hanged Man. So usually I view this as Pisces energy, so we have opposite energies there in that regard, right? And we did just have that full moon eclipse in Virgo recently, so this could be when you start to feel this energy. But what I'm seeing with this could be playing out a couple different ways. One could just be saying that maybe there's a need for you to get back to work, but the challenge there is maybe you've been in more of a hangman energy lately, right? Where you've just been stuck in your head, really looking for the greater meaning of things, right? So that could be what's causing you to fall behind in your work at this time. Or for some of you, could just be saying that maybe you have continued to do the work, but now you've been questioning what is even the point of doing it, right? In the foundation position, we have the 4 of Pentacles. So this is Capricorn energy here. So yeah, so for some of you, you could have just been trying to be more mindful of your resources, right? So maybe that is why there's a lot more thought going into what you're doing now. So maybe you've been trying to rein in your spending, for example, right? So like, okay, where does my money go every month? And are there ways where I could better move these resources around? So that could have been something that you guys have been giving a lot of thought to recently. All right. In the past position, we have the 9 of Wands. So yeah, so maybe for some of you, this also has to do with maybe the groups that you've been dealing with, right? Maybe there's been some disappointment there. So whether it be within your work environment, right, where you felt like you couldn't necessarily rely on your colleagues to come through for you, right? In the spirit of like a team environment, things along those lines there. Or it could just be saying that even maybe going back to Sagittarius season, if you felt like your resources felt a little bit more restricted, you could have been trying to navigate through that for the past few months. All right, in the present position, we have the Knight of Swords. So this is Gemini energy here, and this does look like something's being activated for you guys this month where you actually are going to feel a lot more action-oriented. So even if you were feeling stuck in your head a little bit recently, it looks like there's going to be something at play soon that's actually going to infuse this energy in you. And I mean, given that Aries energy is third house energy for you guys, which is the natural house that Gemini rules. It could just be saying that maybe that's what's doing it. As we get more energy moving into Aries, that's going to light a fire under you guys. All right. In the near future position, we have the 7 of Pentacles. So Taurus energy here. So yeah, so there could definitely still be a part of you that really is second guessing what you're doing, right? Like, does it fulfill a purpose that you needed to fulfill? I mean, it could just be as simple as, I mean, if we look at the global economy right now, right? So whatever salary you've been making to this point, maybe that was doing well for you at a certain point, but now as everything else goes up in cost around you, right? Now you're like, okay, well, this almost doesn't even feel worth it to continue to do this, right? Because you feel like you're falling behind in some way. So that could be some of the things that are weighing on your mind this month. All right. In the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Empress. So yeah, so for some of you, at the very least, this could just be saying that maybe there was a time when you were just being a bit more relaxed, more passive, right? Maybe just taking it easy for a while. So maybe that was needed at the time, right? But at the same time, when you're in this energy for too long, then you could start to deplete your resources, right? So maybe that's one of those things where like, okay, maybe I was in that energy for a little bit longer than I intended, and now you're almost trying to play catch up in some way. In the environment position, we have the Four of Wands. So this is Aries energy here. So yeah, this could be another indicator that as we progress through Aries season, the further along we get into it, so let's say around the middle of April onward, you might start to feel a lot more secure with what you have, right? So things might start to appear more positively for you around that point. Right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Two of Pentacles. So yeah, so for some of you, there definitely could have been some kind of a fear around having money struggles, right? So like I said, it could just be as simple as you've been doing the day-to-day work. But again, like I said, with all the other things going on in the world, you might second guess, like, okay, what is even the point of all this, right? Like some people are questioning, for example, depending on where you live, people have been questioning capitalism itself a lot lately, right? Like, okay, is this system really functioning the way that it should be, or what? All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Queen of Wands. So this is Aries energy here. So yeah, I mean, of course, given that this is still feminine energy, there is that embracing of the receptive side of things. But of course, if we look at this energy versus the Empress, right? If you were in a position where you did need to be a bit more active than passive, this looks like a better place to be than with the Empress energy, right? So maybe it's as simple as that. You're finding a way to still be able to stay in a more passive, receptive energy from time to time, but also know, okay, I need to act. I'm gonna make it happen. All right. And bottom of the deck, we have the Sun. So yeah, so it could just be as simple as that. Like I said, maybe it's just more pointing to as the Sun moves through Aries, that's just going to give you a little bit more fire to take care of the things you need to take care of. You know, I mean, we still have the Mercury retrograde energy going on, the Venus retrograde energy as well, and those basically are in your third house, moving back toward your second house. So that involves your finances, communication, short journeys. So definitely some heavier energies there, so that could be part of what's at play for you guys too. So once the Aries Sun gets in there, that might help lift that energy a bit for you guys. And then, of course, those retrogrades will wrap up around the end of the first week and end of the second week, and then they'll have their post shadow periods, but the energy should just lighten up in general as we progress through later April. From the Four Agreements deck, we have Don't Take Anything Personally, and it says Relinquish Self-Importance. See if I get that to focus. There we go. And I'll get everything in the frame. Okay. It says personal importance or taking things personally is the maximum expression of selfishness because we make the assumption that everything is about me. Now, of course, that's not naturally an energy that the Aquarius archetype tends to spend a lot of time in, right? But it could just be saying that maybe for at least a little bit, maybe you were in that Empress energy where that was where you were coming from, you know, taking on maybe a little bit more of the negative side of the energy, but if that's the case, it seemed to be short-lived anyway. All right, and from the Wisdom Oracle, we have Flexible. There's the artwork, and the number is 19. All right, essential meanings says teachability, open-mindedness, being adaptable without compromising what's most important. The oracle's message: a tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure like a building would come crashing down. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure when everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be now, willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, Stay aware. At this time, others will be more flexible with you too. So yeah, definitely a positive message here, because the part about being rigid, that makes me think of the Four of Pentacles that we see in the foundation position, right? Like I said, it looks like you are moving out of that energy somewhat, but it could just be saying, as far as if that's where you were coming from, that could have been what was causing some blockages there. The relationship message says in every relationship, it's important to be open to new experiences and learning new things. Letting go of rigidity is what's required right now. You don't always have to be right all the time, do you? It's okay to come to a happy compromise. You can still get your needs met. It's a beautiful day when you meet halfway. The appearance of this card in a reading could also signal that you have met someone new who may not be your type, but who will turn out to be so special that you can easily release your old ideas about what sort of partner is right for you. Be flexible. You'll be happy you made that choice. So yeah, definitely an interesting message here, as far as it started out saying, letting go of rigidity. You don't always have to be right all the time, right? And you can still get your needs met. Again, like we said, if you were maybe expressing a bit more of the heavier negative sides of the Empress energy, that could have been causing the blockage there as well, right? And it could just be saying that as you let that go, you'll see that Four of Wands energy, which is going to be just general happiness within a relationship. All right. And the prosperity message says, even when you have a clear vision about how you're going to manifest something, what it will look like, who will share in it, and what will then be available to you, you'll still need to relax and open up to other possibilities. Spirit may have much better plans for you. It could be a job you hadn't thought of, a new source of money, or some other opportunity that eluded your imagination. Be flexible and remind yourself, this, or something better, manifests for me now. Then be willing to bend a little. Enjoy the miraculous results. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there, right? Because for those of you, maybe if you have been in this Four of Pentacles energy for too long, then for some of you, this could be telling you in that regard that it might be better to embrace that Empress energy for a little while, right? Instead of saying, it has to be this way, it has to be this way. Maybe this is saying in that regard, if that has been where you've been, to be a little bit more open and embrace that Empress energy in that regard, at least, to see if other opportunities come your way. All right, so hopefully that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.